Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I completely repudiate the remarks of the Right Honourable Lady. The reality is that this whole constitutional outrage is like tossing a hand grenade into our constitutional arrangements. It is one of the most outrageous examples, given the absolute vital importance of the vote that was taken by the British people, the result of that referendum, and this is a deliberate attempt to undermine it. And any attempt to say otherwise is just simply a total misrepresentation of the facts. That this bill will not compel the Prime Minister to do anything she doesn't want to do anyway, which is to ask for an extension until the 30th of June, assuming the resolution of the House on Tuesday does keep the 30th of June date. The bill does not compel her to agree to an extension to a date different from that if offered by the European Council, nor if offered with conditions, which, by the way, Mr. Speaker, can raise some very serious legal questions which haven't yet been followed through to their ultimate conclusion. Hence, if she does lead to a longer extension, it will be by the Prime Minister's own voluntary act, and not as a result of compulsion by a Remain-dominated Parliament, which is what it is. I have said repeatedly, Mr. Speaker, during these proceedings, that we have a system of parliamentary government, not government by Parliament. This is a complete reversal of that position. It is a constitutional outrage. The further point, Mr. Speaker, is this, that with regard to the question of European elections, which is another amendment which is on the order paper, I would just read out the amendment, the new clause in my name, which is as follows. No extension of the period under Article 53 of the Treaty on European Union may be agreed by the Prime Minister if, as a result, the United Kingdom would be required to hold elections to the European Parliament. And I know there are many, many people all up and down the country who would totally support that proposition. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, the reality is that on Thursday last week I had a similar amendment on the order paper, and I will tell the House that, in fact, I was informed, although it had been selected, that number 10 had given instructions to vote against. The government were going to vote against this amendment, despite the fact, Mr. Speaker, that this was meant to be government policy. All over the country there is a firestorm about the fact that we could be involved in European elections. There are people who are leaving their own parties over this because they are so completely infuriated by the fact that the arrangements which are under consideration here could lead us to be involved in this absolutely insane idea of our being involved in European elections. The turnout in European elections is derisory. The European Parliament itself is derisory. There is absolutely no reason on earth why we should be involved in them. And therefore, that is why I have put down this following new clause. I will indeed give way to the Honourable Gentleman.